Module number 5, Seed Saving and Nurseries. Saving and using local seeds is one of the most important methods for strengthening agriculture and increasing plant diversity. Why? Because it is inexpensive and easy to do. Anyone can collect and save seeds. Because it will increase the amount and range of crops that can be grown. Because seeds are valuable. They can be exchanged with other seeds or sold through a community seed bank. Because plant quality will naturally improve from year to year. Local seeds are adapted to local conditions. As these seeds grow in the local climate and soil, they become stronger. For example, if someone from Indonesia, that's what was geared towards this book, goes to live in England, it will take a long time for him or her to adapt to the cold climate, the people, language, and culture. It is the same with seeds and plants. The plants which grow healthiest and strongest are the plants that can become the seed source. If you don't mind if I add, plants that are good for that environment will survive and give seeds. Plants that are not adapted to that environment will die and not give seeds. So your seeds will be better adapted to wherever you're farming at. Hope you don't mind that I added that in. All right, pollination. Pollination is a process a plant uses to produce fruits and seeds. During pollination, the pollen from the male part of a plant fertilizes the female part of a plant. This pollination process usually happens in a plant's flower. Once the female part of a plant is pollinated, the plant will produce fruit and/or seed. Different pollination techniques are used by different types of plants. For example, 1. Beans, lettuce, tomato, cabbage, and chili are all plants which have male and female parts inside the same flower. 2. Pumpkin, melon, cucumber, and corn are all plants which have male and female parts separate on the same plant. These plants need insects, wind, or human hands to fertilize. Papaya and salak are plants which have separate male and female plants. These plants need more than one plant to fertilize. Smart ideas. The more insects there are in the garden, the more pollination will happen. Flowers, plant diversity, and ponds will attract insects to your garden. Cross-pollination. Cross-pollination happens between plants when the pollen from the male part of a plant pollinates the female flower of another plant. This process can happen naturally or it can be induced. Cross-pollination of different types of plants happens when two types of closely related plants pollinate each other. For example, two different types of green leaf vegetables, two different types of corn, or a pumpkin plant and a squash plant. If this happens, the seed that is produced may be good, but more often the seed will be weaker than the parent plants, or may not grow at all when planted. Therefore, it is best to avoid cross-pollination. Techniques for reducing the chance of different types of plants cross-pollinating. Plant one type of crop each planting season. For example, one type of corn or one type of eggplant. I don't know, is cross-pollinating bad? If this happens, the seed that is produced may be good, but more often the seed will be weaker. Okay, so there are drawbacks to cross-pollination. Techniques for reducing the chance. So one is planting one type of crop each planting season. For example, one type of corn or one type of eggplant. Green leaf vegetables, lettuce and cabbage, flower at the end of their life. Let only one type of green vegetable, one type of lettuce, or one type of cabbage reach the stage to flower and produce seeds. Plant different types of plants further apart to reduce the chances of cross-pollination. Hand pollination will allow you to choose the type of seed which will be produced. This technique works well with plants such as pumpkins, melons, loofah, and cucumber. You can use induced cross-pollination to try and create a new type of plant. But be careful, the results could be something unknown, which could either grow well or not at all. Some types of plants have both male flowers and female flowers. The female flowers have a small fruit below them. In the afternoon, choose a male and female flower that are just about to open. Tie them shut so that insects or bees cannot enter. The next morning, open the flowers, carefully pick the male flower, pull off the petals, and rub the pollen-covered middle stamen inside the female flower. Again, tie the female flower shut. When the fruit starts forming, tie a piece of string or material around the base of the fruit as identification. Repeat this process on other female flowers. To help keep seed quality and diversity, use male flowers from different plants of the same type. Introducing new varieties of seeds and plants. New varieties of plants can be grown to add plant diversity. Sometimes introducing new types of plants can increase crop yields. Don't forget to label every new type so that it can be easily identified. If a new type of seed or plant is introduced, always use non-hybrid varieties of seed. Non-hybrid seeds can be saved and planted again each year, but hybrid seeds must be bought every planting season. Hybrid seeds are produced from two or more varieties of plants. Hybrid plants do not produce seeds that can be replanted. If they do produce seeds, the seeds will not be the same type of plant and the quality of the next crop will be poor. Plant test crops first to find out if plants grow well and produce well. A simple test is to plant 3 small plots of the new type of vegetable in the garden. Each plot should be 3 meters by 1 meter. Each test plot should be in a different location, but grown using the same techniques. If the plants grow well, they can be transplanted in larger plots next time. This will save a lot of time, work, and money if the crop does not grow well. Beware. Be careful to not introduce new pests or diseases from one area to another. Check the seeds for insects or insect eggs. Remove seed pods and any plant materials. Wash and dry the seeds, then cover with wood ash to avoid insect problems. A small amount of dried neem leaf crushed and mixed in with the seeds will help to kill insects and their eggs. Let's see, I thought the neem oil chased insects away, but I'll have to look into that neem leaf. From overseas, government should give more attention to the quarantine department. The regulations should be followed to ensure that new diseases and pests do not enter. Potential problems. New plants that are introduced are at risk of becoming a problem in the future. For example, if the plant spreads quickly and becomes a weed which could disrupt the local environment. This can happen with any type of plant. Even plants that are very productive can become a problem. Research the following about any new plant before it is introduced. What is its growing habit? Does it spread naturally? For example, do animals spread the seeds? Has the plant caused problems in other places? Does the plant suffer from diseases which could spread to new areas? This is very important for protecting our environment and resources for the future. Seed saving. By saving and storing seeds well, you will have disease-free, good quality seeds that can be planted from season to season. Producing good seeds. To produce good seeds, follow these steps. Step 1. Healthy plants. To produce quality seeds, the first step is to grow healthy plants. To do this, you will need healthy soil and enough compost and mulch. Step 2. Choose the best seeds. Always collect seeds from the best plants. These plants usually produce healthy and tasty fruits or leaves, are disease-free and naturally pest-resistant, are able to survive in extreme conditions, such as very dry or hot conditions or rocky soils, are slow at producing seeds. Collect seeds from plants that produce flowers and seeds last, not first. Select seeds from many plants. If you are growing trees, for example, teak trees, collect seeds from many different teak trees. When collecting seeds, remember that you will pass on the plant's characteristics to the next crop. If you choose healthy plants, the next crop will have the same characteristics as the parent plants. Larger seeds will generally last longer than small seeds! Exclamation point. Step 3. Harvesting seeds. Label the plants that seeds will be collected from so that these plants won't be harvested for food. Wait until the plants are ripe to pick the seeds. This means leaving the plant until it is past the edible stage. Young fruits have young seeds, which may not germinate. The best time to pick seeds is mid-morning on a clear and sunny day. Even a small amount of moisture can damage seeds. If seeds are harvested during the wet season, pick the fruit, seed, or even the whole plant and hang it to dry near a fire. See, some of these pictures have check marks and some of them have X marks. Okay, plant, when to harvest seeds, and how to harvest seeds. For tomato and eggplant, you harvest them when ripe on the plant, slightly soft but not rotten. You harvest them by hand-picking the best fruits from the best plants. If it's a cucumber or melon, you harvest the seeds 1 month after you would pick for eating, so the seeds are mature. The way you do it is you hand-pick the best fruits from the best plants. For capsicum and large chili, you harvest the seeds when it's ripe on the plant or when red. You harvest them by hand-picking the best fruits from the best plants. For lettuce, like green leaf and green leaf vegetables, you wait until the seed pods are brown and dry, but not yet open. What you do is you cover in a bag, then cut the main stem so that no seeds will fall during collection. If it's beans, corn, or sunflower, you harvest in the dry season, leave seeds to dry on plant. In the wet season, pick when ripe and dry near a fire. You harvest them by hand picking when the seeds are ready. For pumpkin, You harvest the seeds when it's ripe on the plant. Wait 2 to 3 weeks before removing seeds. You harvest the seeds by hand-picking the best fruits from the best plants. Some smart ideas. Always pick more seeds than you will need for the next season. This will prevent shortages of seeds due to insect and animal drainage, or the seeds rotting. This will also allow replanting if some of the crop doesn't grow. Surplus seeds can be exchanged or sold through a community seed bank. Step 4. Cleaning seeds. Separate seeds that have a dry pod or shell and remove them by hand. Small seeds with a shell can be kept in a bag, which can be gently rolled and carefully crushed to separate the seeds. Separate any plant materials from the seeds by winnowing or by hand. Tomato, cucumber, and pumpkin seeds can be removed and placed in a container with water. The seeds must be cleaned well and rinsed so that all the plant flesh is removed from the seed. The seeds can then be dried. Tomato and cucumber seeds can be fermented to remove some diseases. Remove seeds and flesh from a ripe fruit. Place in container with water. Leave for a few days. Foam will form on the surface, showing that fermentation has happened. The seeds can then be washed with water. All remaining fruit flesh should be removed. Spread the seeds onto a plastic, wood, or metal plate and place in the shade to dry. Step 5. Drying seeds. Drying seeds is a very important part of the seed saving process. If the seeds are not dried properly, they will go rotten when stored. Seeds can be dried any way you choose. However, to achieve the best results, it is very important that you follow these practical guidelines. Now remember, this is from Indonesia that we're getting this. All right, spread the seeds and air out. Shallow bowls, woven trays, old paper, woven mats, or any other container can be used to hold the seeds. For larger seeds, place in woven bags and hang to dry. Turn them once or twice a day so that all the seeds can dry. Protect the seeds from animals, especially mice. For small and light seeds, give extra protection from the wind because they can easily be blown away. Small seeds generally need about 1 week to dry properly, and larger seeds need about 1 to 2 weeks. Start the drying process for 2 days in shade or indoors. After, move the seeds out into the sun for half of each day. This will help to kill insects and their eggs. Move the seeds inside at night. In the wet season, it is better to dry seeds near a fire. I'd imagine if you had a heater, that might be good too. Use a bite test to check if the seeds are dry or not. Bite a seed slowly. If the seed is hard and does not have a bite mark, then it is ready to be stored. If there is a bite mark, then the seed is not yet completely dry and needs to be dried for longer. If your tooth breaks when biting the seed, then next time you bite test seeds, don't bite so hard. Step 6. Storing seeds. After the seeds are dry, they need to be stored well. If the climate is not ideal, seeds may easily rot if not stored correctly. When in storage, seeds must be protected from air, which reduces the seed's lifetime, from moisture, which can make seeds rot, from heat, which can reduce the number of seeds that will grow when planted. us, so we have to be careful about heat. From animals, which can damage seeds. From insects, which can eat or damage seeds. If insect eggs are laid inside the seed storage container, they will hatch and young insects will eat the seeds. From light, which can also damage seeds. So lid, seeds, wood ash. To avoid these problems, make sure the seeds are really dry and clean. Then, on a dry and sunny day, place the seeds in an airproof container. To reduce moisture problems, add wood ash to the bottom of the container. Of course, wood ash which has already cooled. Milk powder or other very dry seeds can be used as a substitute to absorb excess moisture.